Hey guys, and welcome to another video. And I've just yesterday got back from a bikepacking trip, so I thought today would be a perfect time to show you my bikepacking setup and give you guys hopefully a few good ideas for your own setup. And this is going to be a minimalist setup as well, because I don't like taking a lot of stuff. So let's crack on with it. Okay then, so what I'm going to do is start from the front of the bike, work my way to the back and show you what we got as we go. And on the front here, I've got my sleeping bag, my sleeping mat and my pillow, and it's held inside a dry bag with some ratchet straps basically, or not ratchet straps, they're tie down straps. I use them for attaching kayaks to my trailer, so they're extremely strong and they're not going to break at all. And the way I do it is to wrap it around, and then with the excess I'll run that under and around here, so it holds them together, it stops them from coming apart. And I didn't have any problems with that whatsoever, even on the bumpier sections. So let's get it off the bike and I'll show you what's inside and how I pack it. So, in my sleeping bag roll, I've got my mat, I've got my pillow, and I've also got the airbag for inflating. And this is great, you literally just, and then you use that as your pump to get your mat inflated. Okay, so let's take a little look in the top tube bag. The first thing I've got here is my tools, and I don't carry a lot, I carry what I need. So let's see what we got in here. So I got some tyre levers, I got a fantastic multi-tool, it's even got a chain breaker on there. In here I got my puncture repair kit, and you'll see I'm carrying Smart Tube puncture repair kit because that's what this bike is running. But I've also got some spares as well, just in case. I don't know if they work. Maybe. I got a spare TPU, must have. I've got a cable for charging the electrics, and I've got a battery pack as well. And the other thing I do, I like to put one of these into the bottom. It's a buff. It not only pads things from moving around, but it also might come in handy for covering my head. So I'm covering all eventualities by there. So let's pop those back by there for now. Okay, so there's just one omission that I left out of here, and that was my folding rucksack. This has been so useful on the trip, and it's not huge, you open it all out. It's very basic, just some cheap cordy straps, but yeah, it's brilliant. If you want to carry a little extra water in the 1 litre water bag, I use this. If I want to get some food for the night, just before I set up camp, then I use this. Highly recommend them. Okay then, so let's move on to the frame bag. And in here, this fits beautifully. But first we've got some, so these are old rehydration tablets cases, and I use these. So in here I got coffee, I've got salt, and I've got one more which has got sugar. So those are very useful. The other thing I've got, you can probably see poking out, is my tent, which fits absolutely perfectly. And this is the best tent ever. It's a Nemo, only weighs 1 kilo. And that's with the poles and the pegs, absolutely everything. What more can you need? And the final thing that I've got is just my mosquito head net, just in case. So that's the top part. In the bottom, down here, I generally just keep food. Now this here, I had to buy en route because I accidentally went and threw my other sun cream in the bin. And I'll explain why in a moment. So generally in here, I've got like, oops, bit of rubbish, a couple of spoons, a shaver, and then it's generally going to be a bit of food. I have got my bike pump in there as well. Normally the bike pump will live up in the top tube bag, but I had a few bits of food there on the trip, so I put it down here. Yeah, you can see just lots of food generally. more rubbish. Oh, there's another jelly sweet left. I'll be having that in a minute. So yeah, this year generally for food. And yeah, what I generally use for my main meals is like one of those microwave sachets of rice, or if you can get it, some with lentils or oros or something like that, something a bit nice. I found these nice ones with olives and that, and they're really good. So the microwave sachets, you just literally put in a pan. I'll show you my pan in a moment. It's more of a mug really, because you use very, very little water. It cooks extremely quickly. Chuck a tin of borlotti beans in there and your jobs are good. And so we need to go on to the other side of the bag now, and let's take a look what we got in there. So in here, and sorry about the chewing, but I did find a sweetie. This is just a small little pouch, that's as big as it gets, just for little things. So in here I'll have like spare batteries. I've taken them out for now because I'm actually using them at the moment. I just have maybe half a packet of tissues I find quite useful. You never know when you might need a tissue. Got my toothbrush, and I don't bring toothpaste if I'm just going for a couple of days. I don't really need it. In here, more spare batteries. That's for the camera, that one. I got some ibuprofen, because I do get headaches if I don't drink enough, but I try and keep on that. And I've got a small spanner, which is completely flat. And obviously this is invaluable. And pretty much that's it. I don't really put a lot of stuff in this one. So I mentioned earlier I had a little bit of a problem with my sun cream, and basically what happened, guys, was I love these. It's basically pureed apple and banana. Fantastic cycling food, really love it. But if you clean these out, you can use them to put sun cream in. The problem is, as the sun cream goes down, it starts to look a little bit like rubbish, and that's exactly what I did. I put it in the bin with the rest of my rubbish. So I ended up on the final day having to rush off to a supermarket and go and buy a bottle of sun cream. And that was an expensive mistake. It was 15 bloody euros, but I'd rather spend 15 euros than get sunburn. Okay, so that's my frame bag all sorted. But you might have noticed I've got water bottles down here. Got one there, come around to the other side, and we got one there. You can probably see them better for this angle. And what I've done is make a little bracket. I don't know how well you can see that. So it's not very well made, I'll admit that. But it's just made from a bit of ironmongery, as you would call it, some brackets that you can make cabinets and stuff with. And yeah, I've basically done it as a template. It's a work in progress. I'm going to make it properly again at some point, but I didn't have any problems with that whatsoever. And it enables me to run two 800ml bottles whilst having a frame bag on there, which I think is absolutely fantastic. And here, if I take the water bottles off, you can probably see a better idea of how I've done my brackets. So yeah. Hope that makes a little bit more sense for you guys. And this bracket here is actually bolted onto a couple of mounts that were already on the frame. They were designed for a crud catcher. So they're very, very sturdy mounts. They're not riv nuts and they hold really strong. Okay then, so let's take a look at the tail pack and see what we store in here then. Let me just get this open. So the first thing I've got here is my fuel filter system. My water filter system. So I got a 1 litre bag here. I was also using this to carry extra water if I needed it, but this works in conjunction with my water filter. And I did use this on the trip. It proved very, very useful, especially when I camped by the river for the night. In here I've got my stove and cooking pot. I'll show you this a little bit more closely in a moment, because this is very important to my minimalist setup. In here I've got a buff, a pair of boxers, a pair of shorts, and down under here, right at the very end, be careful taking it out, I've got a t-shirt. So I packed this right at the very, very end for a reason, because I didn't want this, my gas stove, banging on the seat tube. And that's it. That's all I carry in there. That's all I need. It's perfect. Okay, so we need to take a closer look at my cooking system, because this is very important for not only saving weight but also saving space, which is something I take quite seriously. Inside here we have got a titanium stove, very, very useful. Put the lid down there. Inside here I have got a lighter, got to have a lighter. I have got, let's pull it out, a tool for fixing the stove with. And tucked down in there we got a small Swiss Army knife, and this is a really basic one with just 2 blades on it, but it's all I need. And then we got the stove itself, and this is brilliant. It's a multi-fuel stove, but it's also made of titanium, and it saves a lot of weight, but it also allows me a little bit of versatility depending on what sort of trip I'm doing. But yep, titanium stove, very, very good. And that guys is my cooking system, and pretty much wraps up this video. So I hope you found it useful and you get a few ideas for your own trips. If you do, then drop us a like and subscribe. It won't hurt you, but it helps me out a lot. And thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Ciao for now. Ciao, ciao.